Welcome to the course on sustainable tourism. This course is part of an educational series designed to explore the fundamentals of sustainable tourism, addressing its economic, cultural, and environmental dimensions. Led by Professor Aida Pinos from the Department of Human Geography at the University of Granada, the course emphasizes the integral relationship between geography and tourism. With a rich academic background, Professor Pinos combines theoretical insights with practical applications to provide a comprehensive understanding of the tourism phenomenon. The course will delve into key themes such as spatial dynamics, sustainability challenges, and the evolving role of tourism in shaping cultural identities and ecosystems. By incorporating recent concepts like post-tourism, it also addresses contemporary issues like digital transformation and over-tourism's impact on local communities. Through engaging lectures, real-world examples, and interactive discussions, this course aims to equip participants with the tools to critically analyze tourism's role in global development and contribute to more sustainable practices in the sector. Join us to embark on a journey that connects tourism, geography, and sustainability for a better future. The geography provides a transversal and territorial perspective on the tourism phenomenon and can analyze the interrelations and effects of the different factors involved in each case or situation: coastline, city, mountain, rural environment, protected area, etc. Following Barado 2001, the influence of tourism activity on the territory does not occur in a single direction. Rather, it is a two-way relationship. Indeed, given the great importance of the territory as both a support and resource for tourism and its influence on the tourism sector's success or failure, its proper planning and management are indispensable in a sector that is increasingly competitive and concerned with quality. In this framework, it is important to highlight that tourism geography pursues two objectives as to the strictly scientific dimension of tourism geography, aimed at analyzing the relationships and spatial effects caused by tourism activity. Another eminently practical and operational dimension must be incorporated, aimed at training professionals and experts in the management and planning of the territorial and environmental aspects of the tourism sector. Therefore, tourism geography can be defined as the relationship between space and tourism activity, tourism as an explanatory factor of the spatial configuration of a given territory, and space as the foundation and determinant of tourism activity. Navarro, 2015. However, despite everything this sector implies, geography has paid little attention to it until recent years. Tourism was traditionally seen by the scientific community of geographers as a frivolous subject. The justification for this reticent attitude is possibly due to the difficulty on the part of classical geography in incorporating into its field of study those activities that were seen as the negation of work, when classical geography focused on the analysis of the ways of life, studied transformative and productive activities, agriculture, industry, cities. The absence of this subject in study plans explains why it was necessary to wait until the late 1980s to have the first manuals and text on tourism geography, Lozado, Boniface, etc. Moreover, as in other areas of geography, the spatial study of tourism began as an eminently model-oriented approach, evolving over time into a much more explanatory and applied style, seeking laws capable of establishing a theory of tourist space. In short, it is striking that in the European context, one of the main global sources and destinations of tourism, where tourism has caused major transformations in all areas, economic, social, territorial, etc., it has nonetheless been marginalized in geographical research for so many years. Although limited and modest, geographers have shown interest in tourism since ancient times. For example, Alliracles, father of social geography, had already considered the spatial dimension of what was then still an incipient form of tourism. For classical geography, both possibilists, represented by Paul Vadel de la Blache, which posits that nature and the environment are not deterministic but rather offer countless possibilities for humans to act upon and modify them, and determinist, with Friedrich Ratzel as a key figure, which argues that humans depend on their geographical environment for development. This means that economic, political, social, and cultural development, along with the activities of collective and individual human societies, is influenced by the physical environment to which humans must adapt. Emphasis is placed on the role of the environment in shaping human activity, with a particular focus on studying the influences of physical and human factors on the emergence and development of tourism, a phenomenon analyzed as a factor of landscape transformation. As in other fields, geographers analyze the geographical causes of tourism, primarily natural ones, as well as its impact. However, these studies are generally part of broader analyses of specific territories. In other words, rather than a distinct geography of tourism, there are regional geographies in which tourism is studied as just another activity that takes place in certain spatial contexts. Since World War II, 1939 to 1945, with the development of tourism and the rise of neopositivism in geography, researchers began to identify spatial regularities in the distribution of tourism. Thus, from the 1960s onwards, tourism geography experienced growing development, paralleling the increasing importance of recreation in both the economy and the organization of space. In the 1980s and 1990s, two bibliographic traditions can be distinguished. Anglo-Saxon literature. This includes the manual Travel Geography, which takes the general approach incorporating the relationship between tourism and the environment and general models of this phenomenon. It also includes a regional approach, with the inclusion of basic tourism patterns by country and region worldwide. Additionally, Richard Butler 1980 developed, starting in the 1980s, the concept of the life cycle of tourist destinations. As a destination loses quality, tourist flows would shift to other destinations that are less saturated and declining. Butler, 2004. Francophone literature. This includes theoretical conceptual approaches and general systematizations, as well as thematic or regional monographs. Lozado Guittard, 1985. Mesplier, 1992. Climate and Tourism. Vincent Senat, 1990. And the Mediterranean. Lozado Guittard, 1989. Currently, the recent adoption and use of the concept of post-tourism signals a new phase in the evolution and impact of this activity on territory. Once again, there is an effort to modernize and apply pragmatism to tourism geography by redefining the relationship between tourism and territory as.
In a more prospective sense, the range of this new manifestation of leisure involves a terrain of uncertainties generated by the overwhelming role that the internet and social networks are assuming in tourism. The prefigured autonomy with which users initiate, prepare, and develop their vacation time contributes to the commodification of cities, places, and their tourist attractions, particularly their image. The tourist destination would therefore be subjected to a pre-designed plan, off the shelf, and conditioned by the individual preferences of users. Toro and Sanchez, 2019. Such practices convey the risk of further stereotyping the external image of tourist destinations and internally weakening aspects such as the local economy, cultural identity, and heritage. Toro and Pinos, 2022.
According to Pierce, 1988, there are 6 broad areas of common ground that integrate the most important components of tourism geography. 1. The spatial distribution patterns of supply. 2. The spatial distribution patterns of demand. 3. The geography of holiday resorts. 4. Tourism movements and flows. 5. The impact of tourism. 6. Models of tourist-based development. These areas can be related and synthesized into 4 major study themes in tourism geography today. These are the assessment of resources and tourism supply in receptive areas, sustainability, as tourism often serves as a factor of accelerated ecosystem transformation, a critical geography of mass tourism or the over-tourism trend. Tourism is seen as a phenomenon of imperialism that colonizes the pleasure peripheries, representing a new and perverse form of dependency. Tourism degrowth, or the under-tourism trend, defined as a necessity where leisure and recreational activities are organized and practiced in different forms and scales, maximizing benefits for local communities and ecosystems. Recipe 2003, Fletcher et al., 2018, Blanco Romero et al., 2019. Since geography and tourism are two systemic concepts, the study of both is essential to understanding the whole. In this sense, the relationships between the two disciplines are currently materialized and supported by
1. Spatiality and distribution of tourism. A. Distribution of tourist destinations. Geography is key to understanding how tourist destinations are distributed across different world regions. Patterns of tourism activity concentration can be observed. For instance, coasts are highly attractive areas for tourism due to their beaches and climatic conditions. Globally, researchers can investigate how geographical phenomena like mountain ranges, river basins, and plains determine the types of tourism developed in those regions. B. Factors of accessibility and spatial connectivity. A tourist destination depends not only on its natural beauty or attractions, but also on its accessibility. This is where transportation geography plays a role. The analysis of air, land, and sea routes shows how these infrastructures impact the influx of tourists. The ease or difficulty of reaching a place can determine its success as a tourist destination. C. Effects of urbanization and tourist pressure. In urban areas, geography studies how cities have evolved into tourist centers. Capitals or cities with high historical and cultural value tend to attract more tourism, which can be analyzed in terms of spatial distribution. 2. Natural and cultural resources as tourist attractions. A. Physical geography and its attractions. Natural resources are essential for tourism. Mountainous landscapes provide opportunities for winter sports and trekking, while rivers and lakes offer water-based activities and recreation. A deep geographical analysis allows destinations to be classified according to their physical characteristics, e.g., beaches, deserts, or jungles, facilitating an understanding of how each environment meets different tourist needs. B. Human geography and cultural heritage. Human geography focuses on how communities and their culture enrich tourism offerings. Historic cities like Rome, Kyoto, or Cusco hold cultural geographical value as they host monuments, traditions, and intangible heritage that attract visitors from around the world. It is crucial to study how geography influences the preservation of these cultural resources and how tourism impacts the identity and cultural practices of a region. 3. Environmental impact and sustainability challenges. A. Environmental pressure in popular destinations. Tourism, especially in highly visited destinations, puts significant pressure on ecosystems. Beaches erode, coral reefs are damaged by excessive diving, and national parks can suffer from constant visitor traffic. Geography helps conduct environmental impact assessments, analyzing tourism's negative effects and proposing solutions based on territorial analysis. B. Carrying capacity and territorial planning. The carrying capacity concept refers to the maximum number of visitors a location can accommodate without degrading its natural environment or the tourist experience. Geography provides methods to calculate and manage this capacity, ensuring tourism remains sustainable over the long term. C. Development of conservation strategies. Geography is also instrumental in developing conservation strategies that integrate tourism with environmental protection. An example is ecotourism, which aims to minimize environmental impact and benefit local communities. Studying how these models are implemented in different geographical contexts can enrich your project. 4. Climate, seasonality, and tourism. A. Influence of climate on tourist preferences. Climate is a geographical factor that affects tourist decisions. Coastal destinations are typically more visited during summer seasons, while ski resorts depend on winter snowfall. Climate geography plays a crucial role in analyzing seasonal patterns and their influence on the economy of tourist destinations. B. Risks and natural disasters. Natural phenomena like hurricanes, earthquakes, or volcanic eruptions significantly affect tourist regions. Physical geography studies these threats and helps establish emergency and resilience plans to protect both local communities and visitors. Case studies on how tourism has been impacted by natural disasters and how recovery efforts were managed geographically can provide valuable insights. 5. Economic development and territorial inequality. A. Tourism as a driver of regional development. In many areas, tourism serves as an economic pillar. Economic geography analyzes how local economies are transformed by tourism. For example, in rural areas, the development of tourism infrastructure can lead to job creation and improved quality of life. However, negative effects like unequal income distribution must also be considered. B. Disparities in geographic exclusion. Not all locations have the same tourism potential due to their location and resources. Some regions develop rapidly due to tourism, while others lag behind. Geography studies these inequalities, exploring how tourism can either be a factor of exclusion or an opportunity for inclusion if managed appropriately. 6. Cultural identity and tourism landscapes. A. Landscapes as expressions of identity. Cultural geography examines how tourism landscapes become symbols of identity for communities. For example, the pyramids of Egypt, Machu Picchu in Peru, or the Grand Canyon in the United States are not only tourist attractions, but also represent the history and culture of their regions. Tourism can help preserve these landscapes, but may also lead to their excessive commercialization. B. Transformations of landscapes due to tourism. Natural and urban areas can be drastically altered by the construction of hotels, resorts, and other tourism infrastructure. Urban and rural geography studies how landscapes are modified and what consequences arise for local communities and the natural environment. This perspective is crucial for developing tourism that harmonizes with both the environment and society. 7. Tourism and geopolitics. A. Borders and tourist mobility. Geopolitical relations influence tourist flows. International conflicts, visa restrictions, and government policies affect tourist mobility. Political geography examines how tensions between countries or regions impact tourism and how tourism can serve as a diplomatic or developmental tool. B. Tourism and security. Geographical analysis also considers security risks, e.g., terrorism or crime, and their impact on tourist perceptions and decisions. Destinations that were once popular may decline due to security issues affecting local economies.
Conclusions. Tourism geography provides an essential framework for understanding the complex interplay between space and tourism activities. It highlights how tourism acts both as a transformative force on territories and as a reflection of spatial dynamics shaped by natural and cultural factors. Key takeaways include interdisciplinary importance. The study of tourism geography bridges physical and human geography, offering insights into sustainability, cultural identity, and economic development. Sustainability challenges. Managing tourism responsibly requires addressing issues such as ENV. Thank you for your time.